Next on our tour of the Dreamweaver interface, we have the Properties Inspector, and that's the panel that you see down here. In my opinion, this is probably the most important panel to have open at all times when you're designing your pages in Dreamweaver. The Properties Inspector is a contextual panel, meaning that its contents are going to change depending on what element you have selected on your web page. For example, because I'm looking at a blank page right now with this cursor flashing right here, Dreamweaver assumes that I'm going to work with text. Therefore, the Properties Inspector is displaying text properties like format, font, style, size, bold, italics, and so on. But if I come up here to my Insert bar, under the Common tab and insert a table, now I'm seeing table properties in the Properties Inspector. We have rows and columns, cell padding, cell spacing, border, and so on. Now don't worry if this doesn't mean anything to you right now. We'll be looking at creating tables later. For now, I just want to get across that the Properties Inspector changes based on what you have selected on your page. And I'm just going to delete that table out of there. And again, the Properties Inspector is definitely a panel that you want to keep open because unlike, say, the Insert bar, where you can find a lot of the same items under the Insert menu, most property settings that appear in the Properties Inspector don't appear anywhere else in Dreamweaver. So if the Properties Inspector is closed, you won't be able to make necessary changes to whatever element you have selected. You also want to make sure that the Properties Inspector is expanded the whole way by clicking this triangle down here. Notice that there's a collapsed view. But you want to keep that open all the time or else you'll miss certain property settings. So unless you're really hurting for screen real estate, definitely just keep the Properties Inspector expanded all the time. And finally, like other panels, the Properties Inspector can be opened and closed from the Window menu, so in case you do accidentally close it, you can just come back up to the Window menu, choose Properties, or Control F3 on Windows, and bring the Properties Inspector back.